It's 10 o'clock, and this is Fox 10 Talks. Boy, what a story coming in this morning. We have somebody who reportedly was in the country illegally, according to law enforcement, who has been charged with hitting and killing a child, a toddler, and then not just leaving the scene, but trying to get a friend to drive him to Mexico. The whole story is coming up over the next couple of minutes here on Fox 10. We also, this morning, have several other stories really interesting. What's going on all of a sudden with all these flight delays? Everything was fine until about a week ago. You know, I know there are a few more flights and things get a little busier at the airports during the summer travel season, but it's not like they just added 50% more flights, but all of a sudden, cancellations, delays. Celeste, I haven't even flown and I'm fed up.
I know, Ron. Should we just drive?
I think that's becoming a better option all the time. Plus, Mesa goes wild for Turkey's national soccer team. And which jobs will survive the AI revolution? Because guess what, Celeste? It's happening. The AI revolution is here, but we want to make sure that everybody has a job that can survive it.
Well, absolutely. But don't get me on this whole, do you want to chat with my chat bot? Those things don't know what they're doing.
Okay, well, we have a story about that as well, and it happens to do with McDonald's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't sign me up.
They actually gave a name to their AI agent who's going to help you maybe next time you hit the drive-thru. When you go to the Golden Arches, from now on, you might be talking to Archie.
What happens if What happens if Archie gets it wrong?
Yeah, I know. Then where do you go? Then you got to go park the car and go in and talk to a human.
And unplug the robot.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so anyway, we're glad you're hanging out with us this morning. Here's our poll question. The Artemis program, the estimates are it could cost more than $100 billion. If you want to grab that QR code, what do you think? Yeah, the U.S. it's worth it because the U.S. is and always should be the world leader in space. Or, no, I'd rather see that money spent on all kinds of programs here on Earth. Or you got another option. Again, you can grab the QR code. We'll start watching these numbers move around. Who's watching the spending anyway? Surely there's a way to do it for less. And Celeste, we just launched on YouTube, already hundreds of votes.
Yeah, just a few moments ago. So Artemis program could cost more than $100 billion. Is it worth it? 58% of you say no. I'd rather see that money be spent on programs here on Earth. 36, though, which is still a pretty good number. 36% say yes, the U.S. is and always should be the world leader in space.
All right, let's get on to a couple of these other stories. If you didn't catch what happened, look, we have these court proceedings. They're called IAs, initial appearance. Right after an arrest is made, whoever the suspect is needs to be informed of the charges against them.
Yes, they do.
And you're about to hear, this is highly unusual because in this case, a child died, and the accused is accused of not just creating the accident, but then leaving the scene of the accident.
And attempting to flee the country.
Trying to get somebody to drive him to Mexico, and yet the mother actually spoke.
Yeah.
I mean, this story is so heartbreaking, but you're going to hear just a little bit about what she said to the judge to make sure her feelings were known.
I lost my 1-year-old son, and I'll never be able to get him back. And instead of him staying on scene and taking accountability for his actions, he fled like a coward. He is not even a man. He's a monster. He's a baby killer for doing that.
So you could hear, it's a little bit difficult. Obviously, she's phoning in there, it sounds like, but she said he fled like a coward. He's a monster. Here's the story in a nutshell. The man from Mexico charged with hitting and killing a toddler and then leaving the scene rather than stopping and rendering aid, calling 911, doing whatever needed to be done. Officers say Carlos Rojas Mora ran over the little boy Sunday night at about 31st Ave and Buckeye Road in a driveway, and then abandoned his car, went to a friend's house, and asked the friend to drive him to Mexico. But they do say that the friend did the right thing after learning what was going on and alerted police, who showed up and arrested the guy. So he's now facing a felony count. Judge has set the bond at $100,000.
It's such a sad story.
It is such a sad story.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. In the meantime, there's another story that we're following this morning. Let's go to Isabella. She is in the breaking newsroom. This is one that also is creating some real interest in court. Bella, what are you learning?
Yeah, so this comes in from this weekend happening in Chandler. It's a very unfortunate story. There were at least 2 home invasions that left 2 people hospitalized. We do know that this happened early Saturday morning. There was this burglary happening near Arizona Avenue and Elliott Road, where a adult male and an adult female were both brought to the hospital, one with a fractured skull and one with multiple gunshot wounds after a home invasion happening Saturday morning. So we do know that at least 2 people were apprehended when they were caught trying to flee to Mexico. And as of right now, there is still a 3rd person, at least at large. They have not been brought into custody. And one of them who was brought into custody appeared in court yesterday. Only 18 years old, this person was. 18-year-old Jesus Sandoval Nunez. He did appear in court. And as mentioned, at least one other suspect is still at large.
Our concern is that Mr. Sandoval Nunez was involved along with accomplices in robbing an Uber driver at gunpoint, and the victim in that case was struck in the head with the firearm. Subsequently, Mr. Sandoval Nunez and 2 other accomplices, while Mr. Sandoval Nunez was armed with a firearm, broke into a home of an elderly victim. The victim was 84 years old. They hit him several times with the firearm. When the homeowner's special needs adult daughter came to her father's aid, she was shot twice.
Yeah, so very intense, scary stories. You heard both those family members are still in the hospital as of today, but they are expected to survive. Still a very sad story.
Absolutely. All right. Isabella, thanks very much for your coverage on that one.
Thank you, Bells.
You know, Celeste, you hear about things like this and you just say to yourself, oh, where are the parents? These are teenagers who try to allegedly beat up elderly people.
And a man in his 80s.
I mean, it's scary enough when we're just talking about home invasions. And again, similar to the other case, the reporting we're doing says that some of the suspects were caught while trying to flee to Mexico. One is still on the loose and nobody knows where he is.
Yeah, we had a couple of stories there in a similar situation where they're trying to flee. And it really is heartbreaking. That 1-year-old little child.
Yeah, right, in both of those cases.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we're all aware that we're within a few hours' drive of the border, but, you know, we are able, law enforcement here is able to work with law enforcement in Mexico. And I sometimes wonder why people think, oh, if I can just get across at a border crossing, I'm in the clear, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I have not seen these pictures yet, Celeste. We had the story all slotted to run earlier on the morning show, and then for time purposes, sometimes we have to skip a story. But supposedly this one, here's what it says. An incredible picture, we'll put it up, we'll let you decide, of the consequences of impaired driving. Yavapai County Sheriff's Office, they do such a good job, posted the photo of a DUI crash in Cornville. Deputies say the driver had been driving away from a bar in Cottonwood, and it only got a few feet, crashed into the parked cars at the bar.
Well, the crazy thing is, no one died.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Wait until you see the mangled mess, though. It's hard to believe.
Oh, you have seen it? All right, ready? Here we go. Here we go. Are you kidding me?
That's it right there.
That's the parking lot of the bar.
That is unbelievable that this is something that happened and no one died.
Well, yeah.
There definitely were angels around them because it is so crazy when you take a look at this image.
Thank you, Celeste, for pointing that out. That's a good point.
I believe the alcohol, according to the authorities, the blood alcohol level was 0.311. Is that correct, Ron?
Did you do that from memory?
Good
job, Celeste. It was. I have the script here. 0.311. So all kinds of charges, you know, the guy could, if he's convicted, could be behind bars for years.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you can cause a crash like that in a parking lot. You can't be going that fast, right? I mean, you're just leaving the bar.
Unless he pedaled to the metal in the parking lot for some reason.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. Okay. Well, we talk about it all the time, and it certainly is a big, big thing. All right, so let's see. Where's that hearing going on right now, Dave? On the 21. Okay, let's go over here. Celeste, what's this all about?
So let me give you the details on this. We're going to take a live look just for a brief moment here before we go to break and give you a snapshot here of the mystery camera. But what we know at this hour is that bipartisan representatives are discussing UFO evidence. Is it ENG 21? Yep. There you go.
That still bind these patriots. Grant immunity to anyone and everyone who has already come forward and everyone who will come forward. Open the door and let them speak. Because unless people know they will be protected, why would they come forward and step forward otherwise? It is time that we flip the script entirely as well. It has been said by people in positions that know that even presidents have been kept on a need-to-know basis, that Navy pilots, admirals, and generals describe programs to senior officials that commander-in-chiefs were never briefed on, career bureaucrats who view presidents as temporary help, here today, gone tomorrow. That is not classification, that's a constitutional crisis. Transparency must be the default in the United States of America, and it should be required for those with knowledge to come forward, not wait for us to ask. There must be real penalties for officials who knowingly withhold information from Congress. Playing dumb is no longer acceptable. Hiding behind classification is no longer acceptable. Mr. President, you know that the agencies lie. You know that firsthand. They have lied to you. They have lied about you. They do not cooperate easily, and they never have. This is the moment. Use the authority that you have, Mr. President. The American people are behind you. And to everyone listening today,
you are listening to Republican Representative Eric Burleson, amongst a number of other lawmakers there that are standing by his side. This is a press conference at the U.S. Capitol talking about releasing UFO evidence and the declassification of it. Here is a sneak peek of our mystery camera this morning. We'll be right back.
that was good.
There you go. Oh, yeah, Celeste. There's the preview that all of us needed to be able to win at today's Mystery Cam at 10:30.
Ron, I woke up this morning thinking, all I want is a preview of the mystery camera. Like, that's what I was thinking as I'm reading my Bible this morning. I'm like, Lord Jesus, please give me that preview of the MC.
Well, we all have different things we pray for, Celeste, and you're a highly competitive person. So, good. Great. Did you feel like you got an answer?
No, but that's okay.
Good.
You know what?
Sure? You sure it's not like Iowa?
God may not answer all your prayers, Ron, but you always get what you need. You may not get what you want.
Correct. What was the wisdom of Garth Brooks? I thank God for unanswered prayers. There you go.
Thank you, Garth.
We'll find out how that prayer worked out in about 14 minutes when it's guessing time for the mystery cam. All right, there you go. Anyway, one last. What are we? We're a little bit out of control.
Yeah, we are.
But
we're off the rails this morning. We're off the rails.
We love working together, and we love hanging out with you guys here on Fox 10 Talk. So, Celeste, let's go live to, this is ENG22. That's a little inside baseball talk. This camera, by the way, is all the way over by the Tempe Town Lake, if you can believe it, but our cameras are so good now.
Yes, they are.
That if I asked Dean to zoom in, like on that plane that's taken off right there on the left-hand side, I bet you he could do it.
You think it's an Allegiant plane?
No.
What do you think it is?
I think it's United.
United.
I'm looking at that blue tail.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to me. This is fascinating, in fact.
What's fascinating
United and Delta are now in a new war of words.
Ooh.
Where, remember United, the guy, Scott Kirby, I think his name is, used to work here with U.S. Airways.
Oh, yes.
He went to the president and said, hey, United, we want to take over American. But nobody actually talked to American.
They're like, what?
It was like, we don't think we're on board with that. Now, Dino, I don't know if he can hear us or not. Can you pan slightly left? We'll watch this United plane take off. I don't know. But anyway, so Delta says, we're fed up with United being the one that has most flights over to Asia. Look, there it is, right over on the left.
Yes.
Then I think that's a Delta plane coming up next. And so Delta wants to now challenge United to be the supreme airline flying from here to Asia.
Oh, wow.
Which we have nonstops now, thanks to Starlux. Just pan over to the left. We want to watch those planes take off. Yeah, sure. Maybe pan over
What's
like 20%.
the main airline in China?
Probably
Air China?
Probably, or China Eastern.
Well, how does Air China feel about this?
Oh, look at this right here. I don't know. But here's the thing. All the airlines are fed up with LAX. I realize there are a lot of people that live over there.
People are fed up with LAX.
But I have a word of advice to United and Delta.
Okay.
You know what? If you're sick and tired of paying whatever it is, $10 a gallon for your gas at LAX. It's a lot less expensive over here. Make Phoenix your hub for people that want to then fly over to various markets in Asia. Hong Kong, Shanghai, Beijing, the Philippines, Singapore.
Is that a list? Is that a bucket list of all your soon-to-travel to locations?
I would like to see it. I mean, I'm glad that Starlux came in and we have a nonstop to Taipei, Taiwan every day. But there's a lot more that could be done. So anyway, this is what happens. We're now 2 minutes behind schedule.
But you know what? We're educating the public on all these airlines.
Thank you, Celeste.
And the trouble that they're having.
Can I bring
and
you?
It's like, my gosh.
I have my review.
Can we just get some dumplings in here? I mean, if we're going to talk about Asia. Ron?
I have my review later this week. And when it comes up that, hey, every once in a while you get a little off topic, I'd like to be able to bring you in so you can simply say, we're just educating the public.
That's all we're doing, right? We're educating you.
Anyway, here's why we're talking about it. Did you happen to catch Andrew's story last night on what is going on at Sky Harbor?
Yes.
All of a sudden the summer travel season starts and you have thousands nationwide flights delayed or canceled.
Yeah.
Here's a little bit more of what he learned in that report as we all trying to figure out, where are we? Why is it happening?
At Phoenix Sky Harbor on Monday.
My flight was supposed to leave yesterday on American at 5:15 p.m., but it was actually canceled, which is why I'm leaving tonight.
Many people are having to be patient because flights are running behind schedule.
It was hard because there weren't flights that could sit me and my daughter together, so I had to book a later flight.
Some travelers even experienced hiccups while on board.
They aborted because they said there was a plane on our runway. So we were like an inch from touching down and he had to go back up.
The FAA says they're hiring up to 2,400 new air traffic controllers each year until fiscal year 2028. It's all to prevent future staffing shortages that can lead to major bottlenecks.
Please do not leave luggage unattended.
But some people say they didn't face any issues on Monday.
It was really smooth today, actually. There's looks like no security, checkpoint, really.
No delays. Everything was smooth.
Many people also not seeing long lines at TSA.
Lines have been okay. Here specifically in Phoenix, it's been fine. I was here last month and it was fine then as well.
All right, everybody. So there is the report. And like that lady was saying right there.
Oh, my gosh.
I had a flight canceled. What was it? My sister was trying to fly back from Florida about a week or so ago.
Yeah.
And she sat at the airport in Florida for hours, and they kept saying, it'll get going. And then finally they canceled it.
Oh, brother.
And so
did she get like a
voucher for a free soda? I hope so. I don't know. These airlines
I have gotten that actually, and I looked at and I was like, "Are you serious?"
I know.
Like here's a $10 voucher for the little market right down the way.
Yeah,
okay, I'm stuck here for 7 hours in Charlotte.
Yeah, which is a nice airport if you got to get.
It's really nice, unless you're stuck in there with 300 people at the one gate.
Yeah, true.
And then you're like, true. Anyways,
well, so here's a couple of pieces of advice. No, go ahead. Do your own thing.
That's
Celeste.
it.
Here, no, it's all you. No, not me.
No,
her.
you.
There you go.
It's all you, Ron.
I cut you off.
We appreciate you. We're here to educate the public.
That's going to be our new promo. Apparently, we're cutting a new promo later today.
Yeah, we're here to educate you.
We're only here to educate the public. Anyway, so couple piece of advice.
Yes.
The weather fires up in the afternoon and into the evening. If you want to avoid the thunderstorms, generally try to catch an earlier flight than a later flight. But let's do this. Let's go to Isabel. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. She's been looking to see both at Sky Harbor and around the country what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, well, flights are not looking good if you're heading out this morning. Right now, there are 66 delays here at Sky Harbor in Phoenix, and things aren't looking great across the rest of the country. 64 current delays at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, 86 delays right now at LAX, very big airport, and then even for those of you maybe traveling east, if you're stopping at Dallas-Fort Worth, there's currently 149 delays right now at that airport.
That's the worst.
All right, fine. Celeste, thank you, Bella.
Thank you so much. Bells, you look beautiful today. Didn't that lavender look great on her, Ron?
That is your color, Bella.
It is your color, sister.
Bella, Celeste, I've been on record as saying they never should have built an airport at Dallas. Now, maybe that's a little extreme.
Well, don't they have two? They have Fort Worth.
Yeah. Well, they have DFW.
DFW.
And then they have the downtown airport, which is called Love Field.
Love Field.
But mostly that's a Southwest Airlines.
It is Southwest. It's almost like a Chicago where you have a Southwest Airlines.
But when they decided that they were going to move all those corporate jobs, when U.S. Airways, based here, bought American, based there, they moved everybody to Dallas. And I'm like, but that airport, you get thunderstorms every other day.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's a bad hub compared to us.
There's a lot of delays through Dallas. Not as many through Charlotte, but a lot of delays through Dallas. Somebody said a free soda. Yeah, it was a free soda. I was like, what is happening?
I know.
Let me get you some details here on this, and I got a hot tip for you this morning if you're traveling.
Okay.
So the biggest airline in China depends on how you measure it. China's Southern Airlines, generally the largest Chinese airline in number of aircraft with the biggest fleet, largest network.
Interesting.
By passengers and traffic, China Southern and China Eastern are usually among the top two, but listen to this. Air China is in the top tier. International prestige and flag carrier status is Air China considered China's national flag carrier and is based in Beijing. I have a girlfriend who works for Southwest Airlines.
Oh, nice.
And she gave me this hot tip.
Okay.
and this goes for all you traveling maybe for the summer. Maybe you can adjust your plans if you can. Okay. She said, I always take the very first flight out.
Good.
She said, I know it's a 5 a.m. flight. I know it's hard to get up, but you're more than likely not going to get delayed.
Because the delays just kind of cascade. And if we already have 66 delays at 10:25 in the morning at Sky Harbor, and a lot of our flights go to Houston, that's a United hub, or Dallas, that's an American hub, or Charlotte or Chicago. A lot of these cities have thunderstorms every afternoon.
Yeah, and in the afternoon hours here, we'll get a little turbulence because of the heat island effect.
Okay, so let's do this. The Artemis astronauts were selected.
Yes, they
today, and our poll question looks like this. They calculated. They said it's going to be more than $100 billion to run through the Artemis program, which I believe they're now saying they want to have people living on the moon by 2030. So in 4 years, not 2028 was the original plan. Now they're at 2030, and of course the cost always grows. So what do you think? 36% say it is worth it. We are the leader in the world in space. 45% say no, spend that money back down here on Earth. And almost 20% say, look, who's watching the spending? There's got to be a way to do it for less.
All right, let's take a look at your numbers on YouTube. Hundreds of people voting in this one right now. 56% say no, I'd rather see that money spent on programs here on Earth. And yes, the U.S. is and always should be the world leader in space. A healthy 36% on that one as well.
Let's go to Big D. What do you seeing, bud?
So many good comments on this. Linda in Chandler says, I'd rather see that money spent on our military and securing our border. Bill Moretz says, we produce several items in space, from rare drugs to precision instruments. It's not just about exploring. Christine Carroll says, we are only limited by our imaginations and only hindered by fear itself. So let's fly in order to leave a future of new adventures for the next generation. Really interesting comments. Keep them coming, guys. You can comment on fox10phoenix.com/poll and on YouTube.
We have the smartest commentators.
We do. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you, Big D.
I don't know if anybody else is praying for an answer right now on the mystery cam.
Come on, people. Let's get together.
There you go. Give us your guesses. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back, everyone. This is your mystery camera. Got some good guesses, Ron, in the chat box.
Yeah, we do. Let's see. Kentucky, says Paul Humphrey. Thomas Brown says Missouri. Deborah is saying, bye, Nick. Nick had to scoot out early today.
Yeah.
So we won't have his guess.
Maybe.
Sure, quite possible.
I don't know. Maybe Nick was, what if he would have won? He left too early.
He's thinking, I'm not going against Celeste in the power of prayer. So, anyway, let's see here. So, Brandon, I love Brandon's guesses. Brandon, by the way, like all you guys, you're all so loyal to our show. We just love it. Anyway, he's feeling a Georgia. Coming on. This is a tough one.
I was going to go Georgia just because it's so green. But there's a lot of parts down in the South that are green.
Yeah, true.
You know, this time of year.
You do have some church steeples, so that could be
and everybody, I mean, maybe like Southern Baptist.
Could be a southern leaning city. It is so beautiful in the South, and people are so friendly. But okay, Celeste, what are you going to do?
I'm going to go with Georgia. What about you, Ron?
Okay, I think I will go with, where else would it be? Let's see, anything kind of a cloudy day. I guess I'll go with Tennessee.
Okay.
All right. Here she is, everybody.
Here is your mystery camera. Answer. LaGrange or Georgia?
Oh, Celeste, it worked.
Ron?
Okay.
You should pray more.
Just to keep up with you. Now, is that a proper...
Who's keeping count,
Is that a proper use of prayer?
No.
To keep up with
it's really
the Joneses?
It's really not.
Lord, they got a new car. I feel I need one, too. I feel like that's wrong.
Yeah, that would be wrong.
Celeste has won 14 days in a row. I need a little extra help.
I just guessed. I just thought that was a guess. Maybe, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just grateful to be alive today.
Good.
I woke up breathing, Ron.
Good
you know,
for you,
my
Celeste.
heart was beating.
All right, fine. I've noticed that the Jacksons next door have 3 cars now, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to pray for, but
maybe you should pray for a Bentley.
Anyway, all right, let's get on to our other big stories of the morning. Celeste, to me, this is really, this proves that life has gone crazy. We as a society have jumped the shark, and here's why.
Okay.
The chair that Taylor Swift sat in at a Knicks game is going up for sale, up for auction.
Weird.
Bidding closes on Flag Day, June 14th. And seats from Timothy Chalamet and Ben Stiller are up for grabs. The Cleveland Cavaliers are auctioning off these seats from Game 3 of their playoff series with the New York Knicks.
Okay.
And as of this past weekend, bidding had already hit $5,000.
So are these like the folding cushion seats?
I think so. The ones right on the court.
How do you know that's really the one they sat in?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
They could totally be pulling your leg.
We're skeptical in this news business, but I have to believe it's really true. Now, what would be cool would be if they had got her to maybe autograph it or something.
Yeah, if each of them got them to autograph the chair, then I might believe it.
Right, okay.
But, you know, we're here to educate, Ron.
By the way, unfortunately for Cleveland and for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce,
yes,
the seat was not good luck. The Cavs lost. Well, you know, Travis is from Ohio, so I guess he's a big Cavs fan. But, of course, Taylor used to live in New York City.
Yes.
Now in Kansas City. But anyway, so there's the latest on that.
So you can buy the seat that they sat in.
Correct.
Sounds weird.
Turkey and Mesa are a winning combination, Celeste. And you know who proved that yesterday? Our very own Megan Plain. Let's take you there.
Check out just how good this turnout is. Fans have packed the place as they show up to support the Turkish national team, which is, of course, out here in Mesa, using it as their home base as they prepare to take part in the World Cup. Now, lots of these fans, they are originally from Turkey, so when you ask them all about just how much they care for this team, they all have the same response. It is in their blood.
This is unbelievable. I mean, 50 states and the hottest one, and in Phoenix, so we are so lucky. I'm coming from Tucson, Arizona. I live in Tucson, but it's no problem 2 hour driving. We are so happy.
Kırmızı, beyaz, kırmızı, beyaz, kırmızı, beyaz, şampiyon, Türkiye. Oley, 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 oley. We're from Turkey. I'm from Turkey. obviously to see them, and second, they've had a long way, and since turkeys across half of the world, we came to bring a little home to them.
Now, the Arizona Athletic Grounds is going to be the home base for turkeys, so throughout the entire group stage and beyond, this is where they will be coming back to train ahead of each match. In Mesa, Megan Blaine, Fox 10 Sports.
Wow, I'm telling you, so much excitement, Celeste. The soccer world, at least here in the Valley, has moved to Mesa.
Oh, my goodness. It is so great. And that green grass, they've been working on it a long, long time at Arizona Athletic Grounds.
I think there are at least 3 hotels under construction within a mile of the Arizona Athletic Grounds.
My daughter was there last night.
Oh,
and
yeah?
she loved it. She said it was a blast.
Oh, how fun.
She took a picture with one of the players, too. They kind of took some photos and autographs.
Yeah. Well,
That's
now we got 2
pretty neat.
teams to root for. First USA and then Turkey. So
Yes.
good for them for hanging out in Mesa. All right, we have a chance here to introduce you to another candidate for state treasurer. This is Elijah Norton. And what we do, if we ever get a chance, Celeste, is to pre-interview our guests.
We do.
And Elijah was just telling us the most amazing story of his if you're into family history, you're going to love this story. Elijah, the microphone is yours.
Yeah, so you asked me how I got my name. I was named after my great-great-great-grandfather, who is a U.S. congressman during the Civil War from Missouri.
Also named Elijah Norton?
Also named Elijah Norton. And I have the same middle name, too. So he helped prevent, Missouri was going to leave the Union, and there was a convention on succession, and he went and he argued against Missouri leaving the Union, and he then was elected to Congress shortly thereafter. So.
Wow,
So
what a story.
It was a border state, and there was a lot of question about whether it was, going to go with the Union or go with the Confederacy, and so
a lot of historians say that if Missouri would have left the Union, the South would have won. So it's actually, I'm proud that he helped defeat the South. So.
And then I asked, where were you from? And you're from Kansas, you said?
Originally from Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri. And I said, how did you end up in Arizona?
So I was on a business trip, and I was on a jetliner, Southwest Airlines, from Orange County to Phoenix, connecting to Kansas City. I think it was like in 2012 or 2013, and we almost got in a plane crash. It was one of the worst flights I've ever been in my life. And I've been all over the world. I've probably done 200-300 flights, including international ones. And I was absolutely terrified, but I spent the night in Phoenix because there was a snowstorm in Kansas City at the time, and I just kind of fell in love with it and had a friend, business partner and friend, him and his wife went to ASU, and they kind of took me out here for a week and just kind of fell in love with it. And I wanted to start a second office, and so I did, and I just fell in love and moved to
5 million people live here.
Yeah.
They all have stories. I bet nobody else has that story.
It's an
It was a
interesting story.
Southwest flight that I thought I was never going to survive.
Well, and if your flight is delayed or you get stuck here, you never know. You may end up living here and loving it, right?
Exactly.
Who are these friends of yours?
So it's a business partner of mine and his wife. And at the time, he was a vendor of mine, but we since started a business together.
What kind of business are you in? Because I know that's part of your pitch to the voters.
Yes.
Is I'm a successful business person. I can transfer that to the state.
Yeah, so I own a global insurance organization. I insure multiple products, but what's really important here is that I have investment experience. So we have $100 million of claims reserves, and we have to hold policyholders' money to pay future claims, and we have to invest those claims reserves in what are called NAIC investment guidelines, and they're actually more conservative than the state treasurer. So I have investment experience. I know how to do this job on day one, and that's something I think that's a key differentiating factor between me and the other Republican in the race.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, no kidding. What first got you interested in the world of politics?
Well, I've always been interested because of my family history, but in 2020, when COVID happened, I started getting involved and heavily, getting involved with Republican candidates. And then I served as the Arizona Republican Party treasurer from 2023 to 2025, managed about $20 million. We came into a party that was bankrupt, had major financial issues. We cleaned it up, and I did an audit of the state party for the first time in a decade for 2022 and 2023. So we spent more than $10 million, or over $20 million was spent on helping Republican candidates across the state get elected.
Is there anything when you look at the budget for the state of Arizona right now that you would say, I would nix that, or I would nix that, or I would keep that for good reason?
Well, for me, and this is another key differentiator between me and my opponent, I think there's a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse in our state government and in our public education system. And one thing I want to do is I want to work with our legislature and our auditor general, if I'm elected, and do do a comprehensive audit historically of our state's finances. I mean, if you look at some of the things that we've seen, there was a report, there was a $300 million accounting discrepancy with Katie Hobbs. There was actually a $68 million or $86 million, either $60 or $86 million accounting discrepancy between what the state treasurer's office reported in 2014 in the audited financial statements and what was delivered to the Department of Administration. That was actually cited about a month ago. And then something that's also extremely concerning is there was an auditor, or there was a treasurer in Santa Cruz County who stole over $30 million in over 20 years. She just went to jail, I think. She was prosecuted in 2024. So there's a lot of fraud in our state, and we need to have somebody that has a record of financial, that understands finance and understands auditing to go in, work with the legislature and the Auditor General to clean it up and expose it.
We're never going to get rid of fraud, unfortunately. I mean, humans, are imperfect, and people make bad decisions. How do you limit that?
Well, I think the key thing is transparency. We have to identify where the fraud is, and you need someone with the expertise and the will to do it. And it would be a huge project, but I think it's worth it because I think there's a lot of fraud. And I've heard numbers as high as 20%. It's billions of dollars a year in our state budget. So I think it's something that would be a huge benefit to the taxpayers of Arizona. And if I'm elected, it's one of the cornerstone pieces of my campaign.
Okay. Well, we're going to watch how this election unfolds. That's for sure. It's really not that. How do you actually? We only have about 36. How do you campaign for treasurer? I mean, it's not as high profile as governor or senator.
You connect with the voters, and again, I think the key thing here is experience. I have experience in finance and investing. We have $32 billion in assets under management, and the questions the voters have to ask themselves is, do they want someone with experience managing that money, or someone who has no finance or investment background? And that's the choice that the voters have.
How can folks follow you, or maybe even get involved in
Sure. They can go to my website, norton4az.com. We have an Instagram, we have a Facebook. We're constantly out there, and we're going to be, I think we have 42 days left until the election day, and we're going to be out there campaigning to try to win over every single vote.
All right. Nice to meet you, Elijah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for coming in.
We're glad you survived that almost plane crash. Now you're here in Arizona.
Yeah, thank you.
It all worked out just fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Break time. We'll be right back.
It all worked out, Elijah.
Beautiful Sedona. My sister, Linda, and her hubby, Mike, and their daughters are up in Sedona right now.
Oh, they are?
I'm pretty sure they're watching the show.
Oh, hi, Linda.
And they are probably saying to themselves, when are we going to go for that hike? Because look at how beautiful. Wouldn't you love living in Sedona?
It's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
No matter which way you walk out, you're going to run into a trail.
Yeah, you are.
You just walking trail, hiking trail.
Such a gem.
Great restaurants.
Hey, Celeste, your story of the day was very interesting today. It had to do with people going to the movies. Now, this is interesting because there's a, what's it called? There's a new movie out called Pressure, which is about D-Day and how the meteorologist played such a major role in deciding if we were going to launch or not.
Yes, it's a really, really good. I've seen the trailer.
Yeah.
What an incredible premise.
Right.
Right.
And so I was thinking about it. I haven't been to a movie yet this year, and I thought, I think maybe I'll go to that one.
That is right up your alley.
Oh, totally.
But when you're sitting there in the movie theater, are there things that people do that you're like, hey, I thought there were rules in the movie theater, like not using a phone.
Okay.
Not texting during the movie.
Yes.
Not taking a phone call.
Oh, no. You
during the
definitely
movie.
can't do that.
Or what about getting up and down all throughout the movie?
Well,
you know, unless you have a child or like a grandchild or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just
What
decide.
if you didn't hit the restroom before the movie and now it's an hour in? You're like, I gotta go.
Well, I think it's okay. That I think it's okay. Apparently, there
What
was.
if you have to go twice during the movie?
I think maybe you should sit on the aisle. If you know that if you know that you're gonna go.
Celeste, you have all the answers. If you know that you're gonna go.
Sit on the aisle.
Okay, what about
or if you know you're not gonna go, sit in the middle.
Okay.
You know, so apparently there was an article that was on I believe at Reddit. It was on social media, and people were pretty upset, saying that since the beginning of the pandemic, people have not been keen on the rules that really hold true in a movie theater.
And the other thing that we're pointing out is we all have shorter attention spans now because a lot of people, if they get antsy if they haven't checked their phone in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Like, I better go check
It's
this.
like, no, you know what?
Live in the moment.
And you're not that important. Like unless you have children and that the babysitter needs to get a hold of you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's the thing is that the people are saying, hey, we're tired of people using their phone in the movie theater. People just aren't thinking about it.
Yeah.
I want to mention this. Amber just mentioned this, and I think a couple of other people talked about well water. I don't know how you guys got on this topic in the chat, but I have to say, I found the most amazing, we did as a family, we're camping in Oak Creek, the most amazing well water.
Really?
It was a spout right outside the campground. I think it was Pine Flat. Campground.
Wow.
It was just north of the Manresa campground in the base of Oak Creek.
Was this just last weekend when you went up north?
It wasn't. No, we were in Flag.
Okay.
But this was maybe a year ago, and there is a well, and there was a line of people from Cottonwood, Prescott Valley, Phoenix, waiting to fill up their waters.
They're in Oak Creek Canyon.
In Oak Creek Canyon, it's free.
Okay.
And it's right outside Pine Canyon. And they said they come there all the time. And this guy had a full head of hair. He's like, I was bald before I started drinking this stuff.
No.
That's what he said.
It's the cure for baldness?
That's what he said.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
But I will tell you, if you have good well water, it can help keep you healthy.
Well, we should all hydrate, but
especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Although some people look good bald, and if you do, you know who you are.
Now, what if the next time you pull into a McDonald's, and we want to get your guys' opinion on this, you can tell, like, when I go to McDonald's, which is maybe once a week, the first thing, there's a voice that says, "Welcome to McDonald's. Will you be using your app today?" And I always say yes, because you do get some good deals on their app.
Yeah, you can get free stuff.
But now, then the local person comes on. Right? The guy who's about to take your money in 30 seconds. Well, now it's going to be, they have an AI agent that they've been testing out.
Yes.
It was introduced just last week. Their new system is called Archie. It can take your order. It can instantly analyze if you're speaking in English or Spanish.
Ooh.
I don't know if French, like up in Canada, or other languages will ever be covered. But they say it's so smart that it could recognize you, maybe if you're using your app or maybe just voice analysis, and knows what you want.
That is really wild.
Like, hey, do you want another Egg McMuffin?
Wow. So it must be storing the information. Like if you go, because what if you go to like different locations? Is storing the information on who you are?
I wonder if it really would be a voice analysis
You know?
thing. That would be fascinating.
You know where else they have a bot like that is Panda Express.
They have a bot?
Yeah, they have something that comes on. Are you going to be using your app? And then a different person, a real person comes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love me some Panda.
That's at Panda drive-thrus, not when you walk
Panda
in. Because I thought I was visualizing a robot that was going to greet you if you walked inside. Celeste, you're getting me worried. Okay. Well, anyway, you know, I mean, I guess if a lot of people do not like the kiosks. A lot of people, me included, sometimes I'm like, but where does it, when I want to add extra onion, which I do,
yeah,
where do I find that? They're not as...
How much onion are we talking about here, Ron?
Enough that you can spell it. But anyway, I don't know. We're all a little skeptical about AI, but maybe that. But they, by the way, they say they've already been testing it at locations across America, and it's handled reasonably successfully over 1 million transactions.
And what if like somebody's judging you for what you're ordering?
Yeah.
You know, like somebody's like peering over your shoulder at the kiosk, and you're like, "Calm down, I'm almost done."
Correct.
Why are you ordering extra chicken nuggets?
There's extra kiosks here. You can go find another one. Okay, and then this other story, really interesting. These are new parties that people looking for ways to save money are repairing rather than buying new whatever, refrigerator, washing machine. So now there are pop-up events. They call them repair parties or how-to parties, and they help people learn how to fix their appliance, their plumbing, damaged clothing, etc. They say it's also eco-friendly because you won't be throwing stuff into the landfill. You know, you're fixing it instead, and you're going to save a lot of money.
You know, if anybody out there has a sewing party, like a party where you can show how to maybe like a seamstress, like these gals right here. Okay. Maybe like do a little tailoring.
Yeah.
I would totally go.
Okay.
And by the way, Be Kind Forever says onion is very good for you, Celeste.
Thank you. Be kind. Let's ask AI, Celeste.
Okay.
Okay, let's just go to AI and just ask right now, what are the jobs that are going to survive? Actual AI. AI may refuse to answer because it's kind of a negative thing about AI, but ready?
Let's see if it has an attitude.
Here we go. Hello, are you there?
Loud and clear. I'm right here with you. What's on your mind today?
Please tell me 5 jobs that are going to survive and thrive during these AI years.
All right, here are 5 that are looking pretty resilient. First, trades like electricians or plumbers. AI won't fix your pipes. Second, healthcare roles with direct patient care. Think nurses or physical therapists. Third, creative jobs. AI can't replicate your unique artistry. Fourth, mental health professionals. We'll always need a human touch there. And fifth, education specialists who teach critical thinking, because humans will need to know how to make sense of all this tech.
Oh.
I love that. The boss came up with this idea, what, a year ago maybe? This whole Let's Ask AI.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have fun, but I learned right there.
Yeah.
All of those are jobs that will survive and thrive.
But you know, the critical thinking part I think is really important because there's a lot of chatter about in the education world about, especially in the K through 12, about teaching our kids how to critical think. Like, of course, they need to know like math facts and vocabulary, how to spell words and grammar. But learning how to critical think about things, be resilient, bounce back. Those are really the tools I think that they're trying to bring back to K-12.
Good. Well,
because they disappeared for a while.
Well, and that's what we need to sort of almost outsmart AI.
That's what
AI
she
can
just
do
said,
the basics,
yeah.
right? Okay. Hey, Celeste, before we go, I thought this was fascinating. Being a grandpa, my grandkids call me Pop Pop.
Pop Pop.
But there's a new trend to name, get ready, new names for grandparents.
Oh, we were just chatting about this in the commercial, like Grandma.
Yes, that's a good one.
Glamma. What are some of the others?
Let me pull this up. By the way, that's Mason when he was just a little kid, and me, one of my favorite pictures, we were getting hot dogs.
Look at his side eye he's getting.
You can tell where this is, right?
I love it.
At
Yes,
Costco.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can pull up these other names. Ready? Here we go. So these are, now, Celeste, you're like 20 years away from being a grandma, but still, it doesn't hurt to think about it.
Absolutely.
Here are 4 newer grandma names, and you can react and say, like yes or no. Ready? Here,
Ready.
Here's the list right here. I'm going to read it. Ready? Here we go. Honey.
Okay.
Sunny.
Uh-huh.
Bunny.
Yeah.
And Gigi.
I have heard of Gigi before.
Okay.
Or Gaga.
Okay. Oh, like the singer.
Gigi, Gaga, Glamma, those are ones that I have heard in the past.
And then Honey, Sunny, Bunny. Do you like any of those? Honey to me is
like
too much of a term of endearment.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so is Bunny. Almost.
Bunny. Hey, Bunny.
No, wasn't Bunny? Was that our meteorologist that used to be here, Dave Muncie? Wasn't that his wife's name, Bunny?
His wife is named Bunny.
That's his wife. And
if you meet her, she's perfect as a bunny.
And she's so sweet. And
she is so
Dave
sweet and
is
fun-loving.
Dave is amazing, by the way. He brought me chocolate cake from Miracle Mile Deli on my first day at work.
Oh, Dave, we
so
love
great.
Dave. Okay, here are the names for the grandpas. Ready?
Okay.
Here are the 4 that they came up with on some of the newer names. Granddude.
Is that really?
Apparently, Paul McCartney maybe either called his grandpa that or has been talking about it.
Oh, how cute.
Bumpa?
Bumpa.
Now, I will say the kids, the younger kids, instead of calling me Pop Pop, they'll call me Bop Bop. So it's sort of like that. This is more like you couldn't say grandpa, so you said Bumpa. Or captain or coach.
Oh.
Hey, coach.
Hey, coach.
I could see that.
Yeah, especially if you are the coach. Ron, you've coached your grandchildren.
I've coached them. Yeah, for
so
sure.
you're kind of like the coach.
Okay, I'm gonna propose that today when I go home and see the grandkids. Call me coach.
Jennifer says we called our grandma Mamo.
Okay.
Christine Carroll says I'm Gran.
Oh, that's a good one.
Those are really, really cute,
Christine,
you guys.
I like that Gran.
And Thomas Favela, this is a good one. Thomas, thank you all for sharing this. Gramu. Is another one. So we love that you guys are sharing this with us. Thank you so much. And we love that you share part of your day with us as well. Ron and I, we love you guys.
Yeah, we do.
We're here to educate.
It's Fox 10 Talks, and we got a whole nother hour coming up.
Yes, we do.
With Ty's back from vacay and Anita next.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Time now, 11 o'clock. We're going to keep things rolling here on Fox 10 Talks.
With a jam-packed show.
With a jam-packed show, like always.
Ty is back.
Back from vacation, rested, ready to conquer the...
You got the day right.
I got the day right.
You started rolling with Tuesday.
Half the battle, isn't it? Getting the right day right.
Sometimes I wake up and I just don't know.
That happens to the best of us.
I don't know. June is Men's Health Awareness Month. I had a whole bunch of statistics up, you guys, but now they're not coming up. So we want to bring Mike Belkin back. He is with Men's Health Span. Hi, Mike.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me back. It's good to see you. How are you doing?
You too. I was trying to Google some statistics and my computer's going haywire, but I think it said something like 60 to 40% of men don't go to the doctor on an annual basis.
Yeah, and probably if we accounted for the ones who have to have their significant others drag them there, this would be even higher if we didn't have them doing that, right? We'd all be laying in a ditch somewhere if it wasn't for our significant others. Yeah, men like to avoid getting care. They don't seek care. They wait till things are too late. Some preventative care could certainly do them good, and that's some of what I think we should talk about today, with it being Men's Health Month. One of the biggest factors is. Oh, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we're good. Go for it.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I thought we would touch on one of the biggest killers, cardiovascular disease. It's going to kill 23% of men is what it comes down to. So if we're talking about, what's a big rock we can deal with and kind of address and kind of find some ways to keep you healthier and, living a happier, longer life. That's one of the things we should definitely address.
Okay, so let's talk about cardiovascular. Are you talking about like heart attacks? Are we talking about like strokes, heart disease?
Yeah. So it all kind of falls in one basket there, right? So you have cardiovascular disease. We're talking about things like blood pressure, and we're talking about things like strokes can happen too. That's kind of some cerebral vascular things. Specifically coronary artery disease, or CAD, they'll call it. That's when we talk about high cholesterol and plaque in your arteries. That's a big deal. That's going to get a lot of guys. It happens way more prevalent in men than in women. And it's something that can be preventable, but it's something we need to follow up on. And there are actually some new guidelines this year in 2026 that address it a little bit better, because it has been sliding by and getting missed. So I think let's maybe cover a little bit of that.
Okay, let's talk about those guidelines. And really quick, though, you're talking about strokes and heart disease. Are we talking about a seemingly healthy 40-year-old man? Or
why are you looking at me?
Sure, no, and that's a big big part of what I want to talk about, because I do, and in my clinic, I catch a lot of that. I'll have seemingly, otherwise healthy guys. They're doing all the right things. They're exercising their diet, and they don't look sick. They're not obese. They don't have diabetes. We check a few extra things, and sometimes we find something. And it's really important, because if you catch it early, there's something you can do about it. You don't want to be the story of hey, there's a healthy young guy. Wow, who knew? No one thought he was going to have a heart attack, but he did. And so a lot of that stuff can be prevented, and we have some better ways to do that than we used to. So, a few of those things start with, open communication with your doctor. You only have a short period of time when you go in to see your primary care doctor. So ask for some of these things that I'm going to talk about today. One of those is making sure that on top of just your regular lipid panel, like you're getting your cholesterol checked, I want you to ask for a test called an LP(a), right? So that's, L as in Larry, P as in Paul, A as in apple. And it's a genetic test. You only have to do one time. It's going to tell you if you're an extra high risk for some extra atherogenic plaque or extra atherogenic, I should say, cholesterol that can cause plaque. So this is basically like a weaponized cholesterol. Some people are just more genetically predisposed to having it. And if you have it, you want to know.
Oh, wow.
So I guess you have to be your own kind of advocate when you go into the doctor's office. But I want to go back to what you said about men are not as willing to go. But you said a lot of these diseases, these cancers, we've talked to doctors here before, and they say, early prevention is key. So what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to kind of, I guess, convince men that it's okay to go to the doctor and it's important for your longevity?
Yeah, and it can be a tough sell. It can be a tough sell. So a lot of the way I catch a lot. So my clinic, we we fix hormones, we fix metabolic health. So I have a lot of guys coming in for things that they don't think is their biggest problem. So they'll come in with some things like some, erectile dysfunction or something like that, and they want to talk about that. That's one of the things that will bring a guy to a doctor. And that's a very interesting thing because that can be the canary in the coal mine, right? What's good for the heart is also good for the penis. And that brings guys into the clinic. We get things checked out, and it turns out they have some cardiovascular disease. Changes, penile changes will show up 4 to 5 years before they'll show up in the heart. So you get guys with these early changes. They come in, they think they just need a pill to fix something. We do some extra tests, and we actually find some cardiovascular disease. Now, all these things are multifactorial, so you want to check many, other things as well. But that's a good way to do it. So I think anything that gets a guy into the office, we need to add these additional screens on there and talk about it.
Okay, really quickly before we wrap, Mike, lack of honesty is another big statistic. 37% of men, they'll go to the doctor, maybe your significant other drags you, but they're not telling the doctor everything.
Sure.
I mean, you have to be able to trust your physician. How do you find a good physician, and how are you able to sit down and be honest with them about some pretty, personal problems maybe?
That's an excellent point. And sometimes it takes a couple of volleys. You have to find someone you mesh with, right? So if it's done, you're not hitting it off the first time, it's an open market. You can find someone else who you like and trust. But it's important to do it. It's hard to build rapport with someone fast. A lot of times you have a couple of minutes at a visit, you need to jump in really quick and do it. But it's an important thing. But I think if you're gonna talk cardiovascular health with your doctor, there's something called that Lp(a) test you should do. There's another one called a coronary artery calcium score, or a CAC, and that's a CT scan of your heart that you can get. It's a pretty cheap test to get. It costs about $100. It actually looks at plaque in your heart, and those two tests can save some lives. They're important.
We're running out of time, but if folks have more questions they want to talk to you, how can they get in touch with you?
Sure. Yeah. So, all the social medias on the search engines, Men's Health Span. So menshealthspan.com, Mike and Men's Health Span. Yeah. If people have questions or want to talk more about this, reach out. Let's talk. I'll point you in the right direction.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Stay healthy.
All right. Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me. Take care.
All
right. Bye-bye.
I thought this was super interesting. We talked about it with Dr. Mike this morning. Transitioning from vacation to everyday life can actually elevate cardiac risk.
Uh-oh. Again, I think.
And you're and you're the day after vacation. He was talking about sudden stress spikes, so you have that vacation freedom. It abruptly ends, so your cortisol, your adrenaline, it gets a little bit high. The Monday effect, maybe you're tired because you were staying up too late. Maybe you were eating and drinking things you don't normally do. And the routine disruption as well. I thought that was super interesting.
All right, so I should be watching out for my health.
You need to ease your way back in today. You need to hydrate and move. You need to maintain your medications. And you need to know the warning signs.
Okay, maybe just up all my medications.
Okay. Also, sleep is important too.
Yes, so important. And we're kind of staying in the same vein as our last guest here. We were talking about men's health, and that goes with our next guest, who is going to be talking about sleep and how important sleep really is for our overall health. We have our friend Edward Jones joining us once again. Mr. Jones, good morning.
Hi.
Good morning to both of you.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Sleep is a tough one. For both men and women, it is Men's Health Awareness Month in June. But it's a tough one because you may want to sleep, but sometimes you have that insomnia. Sometimes you have crazy work hours.
Yes, and the biggest issue is a lot of people can go to sleep, but they wake up at that 12, 1, 2, 3, and 4 o'clock hour. What is the reason for that, and what can we do about it? I have been a lifelong problematic person to do that for maybe 15 or 20 years. I've been in the natural health field since I was so young. I've been professionally doing it for 47 years. There's a product called GABA, G-A-B-A, that has been my lifesaver. That's the first thing I do is I take some GABA, and I know this sounds odd. I don't do it before I go to bed. I set 2 capsules next to my bed with a little tiny glass of water. You get up at night and go to the kitchen, you're doomed. But when you wake up at that first awakening, GABA calms the brain. It's not a sleeping pill. It's natural, completely safe, and GABA has saved my life over my years.
Okay, Mike, you're saying, Edward, I'm sorry, take the GABA when you wake up. I'm like you, so I'll lay down and I'll wake up like an hour and a half later and then another 2 hours. So take the GABA that first time you wake up?
Absolutely. And I've found that through the hard lessons of my own life and counseling 10,000 different people. It works marvelous if you do 1,000 milligrams. If you have medical conditions, check with your doctor, but it's totally safe. And you just take it. It will calm the brain. The reason you can't get back to sleep is because the brain has what I call cognitive popcorn. Cognitive popcorn. The thoughts are popping at that.
Yeah. I wake up and I'll find myself having conversations with coworkers or
in your head.
Yeah. What about my doctor had me taking? I think it's glycine, just like a little 4th teaspoon. Is that similar to the GABA? That's just a supplement.
Glycine is also one of the choices, but it won't work for that kind of midnight, 3 o'clock awakening as well as GABA does in the system that I have. Now, I do a product with glycine at bedtime, but it doesn't get me through the night. The only thing that can get you through the night is a drug, which we don't want because it reduces REM and deep sleep. It just keeps you unconscious. But the GABA works. And then secondly, of course, is mouth taping, which I think people know a lot about that somewhat. They need to tape their mouth when they go to sleep so they don't mouth breathe.
So why don't you want to mouth breathe?
Yeah.
Very, very scientifically shown that when you mouth breathe, you lower what we call carbon dioxide. Believe it or not, carbon dioxide is valuable. It reduces stress. It reduces cortisol. It keeps us from being nervous. And so it is needed. When you mouth breathe, you don't make enough of that. And when you nose breathe, you make a lot more of the carbon dioxide.
Okay. We have more questions for you, but we have a hard break, so we're going to take a 2.5-minute break, and then we will be back to talk more about your tips and tricks to sleep better.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, stay tuned.
Stay close.
Ask about melatonin too.
Yes.
So everybody's talking
and also having a drink. A lot of people will have like a glass of wine to unwind. Is that good for you?
All right. We're going to ask all those questions coming up. If you have questions about how to improve your sleep, put them in the chat. We will ask Edward. Anita's already making
I'm taking notes, you guys.
She's taking notes. We'll ask those to Edward coming up after a 2.5-minute break from us. Stay with us. Much more Fox 10 Talks at 11.
Bye.
Welcome back. We are talking with Edward all about sleep, how to improve your sleep. So we were just talking just a few minutes ago about mouth taping. You also talked about GABA. Someone said gabapentin. It's not gabapentin. It's just GABA, G-A-B-A. You can buy it over the counter. But I wanted to ask you, kind of on the same vein as kind of these over-the-counter drugs, what about melatonin? Do you recommend melatonin for people that have difficulty sleeping?
You know, I've studied the entire mechanisms of health with regard to the green pharmacy is what I refer to it as. Melatonin used properly, which means not too many milligrams because it causes you to have vivid dreams, so it can actually disturb sleep. Secondly, there is a plant-based melatonin that I far prefer over synthetic, and that plant-based melatonin seems to work better. So 1 to 3 milligrams can help regulate sleep in some people.
Can I go back to mouth taping, if you don't mind? We have terrible allergies out here. My nose, I will wake up without the mouth taping, and it's just stuffed, and I have a hard time breathing. I mean, if you're taping your mouth...
I know, that's why I'm afraid I would just
I wouldn't be able to breathe.
Let me take the fear out of this conversation. Michael Nestor wrote a book called Breath, where he had a pulmonologist stuff his nose up for 3 months and test what happens to the body when you mouth breathe. It was devastating, but what they found was so interesting. The tissues in the nose relax when you nose breathe and you mouth tape. It will relax over a period of 1 to 3 nights. That means you breathe. I have had COVID 6 times. I mouth taped all 6 of those times. And I was surprised. I breathed well enough at night to get through.
Scotch tape, the silver tape, duct tape, what are we using?
You need to buy something that has the word mouth taping on it.
Yeah, they have
so
fancy tapes. They have fancy tapes and they cost a lot of money. I'm always looking for the cheapest alternative.
Amazon has a great tape that you can go to that doesn't say mouth tape, but you can kind of do the detective work. You can buy 12 of these rolls for like $14, and they'll last you a year and a half.
Okay.
I'm going to get you some mouth tape.
Yeah, please. I'll try it because anything to help me
I'm scared of that one. I'm scared of that one. I have to go back to the GABA. Is that how you say it? So, okay, I go to bed. I'm just, if you wake up and you only have a couple hours left before you have to rise and shine, how close to the alarm clock time can you take it to not feel effects once you wake up? Does that make sense?
First off, it only makes you calm. You can do this at 2 in the afternoon if you're stressed out. So anytime you wake up, pop it. I almost guarantee you what will happen is you'll go further into deep and REM, where without it, you'll stay in that light, non-rejuvenative sleep. And I've got an ebook that I wrote on how to do all of this. So it's free on theholisticnavigator.com. It's a free ebook on sleep and many other health issues.
I'm going to buy Ty some mouth tape and some GABA.
There you go.
Thank you.
I'm going to be so calm, sleeping great. Edward, thank you so much. And real quick, we've put that website up. Say that website one more time for folks.
It is theholisticnavigator.com. Ton of free ebooks. I just love to empower people with other options instead of the chemical jungle.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to switch gears real quick because there's a press conference happening as we speak. This is basically talking about security as we get closer to World Cup, which kicks off actually this Thursday. So we're going to listen in here shortly just to this press conference that is currently underway.
You add all the semi-quincentennial events from Freedom 250, America 250, a small fight that's going to be on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue here in a couple of days, which I'm sure you guys have heard about as well, and then IndyCar. This summer is truly unique to celebrate our 250th birthday, but there are certainly challenges that come with that, Fred.
Yeah, I can imagine a host of them. So first of all, let me remind people listening virtually, those here in person, the way to submit questions, and we'll get to those as we go along, is on Zoom using the Q&A function or on X using /AC front page. And for those here with us in the studio, raise your hand and our staff will bring you an iPad to submit questions for the guests. We really have to do it this way this time. We'll get to those a little bit later on. That is a segue to a question that's actually
So that was the press conference that's happening. They're kind of doing some housekeeping.
Yeah,
so
you know.
Kind of boring.
We all, but it's but it's important.
It is, but they were just doing. They were obviously kind of in a lull. So if there's anything important to come out, we'll let you know on the news at noon. How about
We're
that?
just checking in. Checking in. There's a really fantastic nonprofit called Geared Up Youth.
And we have the founder here, Austin Walker. Austin, good morning.
Hi, Austin.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. It's so good to be here.
So, Austin, let's start at the very beginning. What is this nonprofit, and why did you decide to start this?
Yeah, so Geared Up Youth is a life skills education company that teaches basic life skills to teens. Basically, I love telling the story of how it was founded because it came out of this sense of rawness when I was in my mid-20s. So it was 2017, and I was with my best friend. He was living with me at the time, and we're like, man, I didn't learn this in high school, and I didn't learn this in high school. We literally made a list of all the things that we wish we would have learned in high school.
I have to ask, what was on that list?
Investing, resume building, interviewing, etc. And we had this yellow pad, and unfortunately, life got busy. We put it on the shelf, figuratively and literally. And then 2020 came. We all had a bunch of extra time, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna circle back and spend 2 years writing it, 2 years designing it, and then what you see here is the 130-page workbook. Yeah, here.
Oh, yeah. An actual
I brought you guys
workbook.
some. Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
This is how I don't know about you, Ty. I'm a visual learner.
Same.
You know, like you can tell me something, but if I write it down or if I can actually read it, I will remember it.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it's built. So if you go through it, like every section, it has a Dave Ramsey quote there, but every section has, an overview.
Tax forms?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh man, I know.
These are a lot of things.
Quick tips. There's QR codes. There's exercises. We want to make it not stuffy.
Oh wait,
we want to make it
car
fun.
maintenance.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, yeah.
How to change your tire.
Right.
Check your battery.
Yes, it has 150 topics in it. Believe it or not, yeah.
You don't have to pay people to do that. Conflict management.
Oh, I know. We thought of it all. I mean, I literally started making buckets of things that I wish I would have learned. So there's 4 sections: money management, career and professional development, health and wellness, and then kind of like miscellaneous, diverse skill sets.
What are some of the, the feedback that you've been getting? Because, I mean, looking at this, these are, again, things that maybe
could we do all these?
Some of these things. Car maintenance. I was going through the finances because I always say that I don't think they teach enough.
Agreed.
Like real world finances.
Oh my goodness.
Budgeting.
Don't get me started.
Check, but IRAs, 401ks, stock market stuff. I mean, this is all important stuff.
Here's what I think is important. For example, you have a blank check on here, and
I'm gonna show it off.
It says
page 12.
13. Yeah, 12, 13. It says routing number. Because someone might get a check, or you might have to set up, you're getting money back from the IRS and they need your routing number. People may not even know that.
They don't even know what that is. Yeah. So here's what we're finding. AP just launched a study at the end of 2025, and it showed 4 in 5 young adults are not prepared for the real world. They don't feel prepared. There was a survey. And there's a digital fluency that they have. They're good at tech. They're good at their phones. They're good at social media. But the problem is that we're not preparing them for real life. And so that's the gap that we're trying to fill here.
This is almost too genius. I mean, you have something on mortgages, money management mortgages.
Yeah.
And what's so interesting is we had someone in an expert we were talking about foreclosures.
Yeah.
And how, you can get a mortgage, you can qualify for a mortgage, but you may not think about the fact that there's an HOA, that your AC may break, you may need a new washer dryer.
Yep. We're challenging kids to think about these things, not so they're not 25 or 30 when they're first exposed to it, rather 16, 17, 18, and when they are exposed to it 5, 10 years later, it's like, oh, I remember learning about that.
Also, what has been kind of the reaction that when you hand one of these books out and these kids start to go through it?
One thing is super common. It's like, I wish I had that when I was in school. So if I'm handing it out or talking about it to a parent, for example, it's like, oh, I wish I had this when I was 15 or 16 years old. That seems to be a common theme for sure. It's like, I was talking with someone just earlier while I was waiting, is like, I learned A squared plus B squared equals C squared, but I don't know how taxes are, or mortgages.
Where am I going with that?
Yeah, exactly. So it's fascinating.
So also, what do you hope to do with this book? Are you hoping to put this in classrooms?
Yeah.
Are you hoping hoping that people will buy this and then use this on their own, or what's kind of the goal with this?
Yeah, great question. We're starting to get into some schools, co-ops. One angle that I didn't really anticipate is partnering with companies. They hire us to come in, and they offer it to their clients' kids and grandkids. And then what we'll do is we'll come in 2 hours, teach them about a particular, they'll pick one of the 4 sections. They'll get a 113-page workbook, this thing, that will make it real fun, real engaging. So it's a client value add for the financial advisor, for example. So yeah, there's a lot of avenues that this could go. I'm curious. It's fairly new. We just launched last year. So yeah.
There's a quiz on here. If you go to the website, which is
gearedupyouth.com.
Okay, and you scroll down to the bottom, it says you want to take the free quiz.
Yeah.
So easy start. What grade are they currently in? 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, or graduated within the past year? So let's say Ty graduated. Okay. How confident are you about them managing their own money? I'm
not confident.
I'm going to give Ty a 1.
But I was going to ask you, as Anita's taking this test, what are what section do you think is getting the most reaction from?
Oh, it's by far money management.
Really?
Yeah, all of it's important, and we want to create a holistic teen, right? So we're not just going to focus on one, hence why it has 4 sections. But money management is one that's very near and dear to my heart. It's the one that I'm most passionate about and talking about because, for example, I was asked, what's your favorite part of the workbook? And it's investing, because if you're a 16-year-old, you put $50 away, you'll be set for retirement. $50.
But nobody tells you that.
Nobody knows.
And my husband and I were talking about that because my dad worked for Motorola and he had a great pension.
There you go.
So he never, as far as I remember, they taught me save your money to get what you need or what you want, have goals like that. But I don't recall him ever saying invest and make sure you have the 401k, because I think he thought they'll have a pension. Those only exist now with government jobs.
Correct. Yeah, most folks aren't getting.
If that.
Yeah.
Companies have those now.
And so you really have to know how to be aggressive, how to, because now I have to hire someone or get advice on how to move money around in my 401k.
Yeah, and only 23% of Americans have opened a Roth IRA. That's like a hack to retirement. It's so easy. It's so simple. Just throw $100 a month, do it. Yeah.
So we've only got about 30 seconds left.
Okay.
How can folks get their hands on the book?
Yeah, go to gearedupyouth.com. There's a curriculum section. We have stuff for schools, for small groups, for homeschool. We have a homeschool bundle as well.
Nice.
So yeah, you can go to the website.
Wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, good job.
I appreciate it.
Good job.
Had a blast. Thank you so much. Yeah, likewise.
All right, we are going to take a quick break, and Ron and Des, they are up next with the continuation of Fox 10 Talks at 11:30. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Well, Des, every morning at about 11:15, I get a text from Dean. And, remember, was it yesterday we had Scotland? We had that pretty little golf course in Scotland.
It was Dornoch, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's good. She wants to go there.
And I would love to go, sure.
Yeah, right. Scotland is quite amazing. And today he sends me a text that says basically, I'm not telling you.
Oh.
If you don't know this one, then you're just out. You're out of luck.
I know you know this one.
That's the Seahawks Stadium. What is it? They keep selling the company that sponsors it. Is it still Lumen Field? I think it might be. But yeah, I've talked about it. I went to school up there at the UW, University of Washington, and for 2 years they tore Husky Stadium apart, and we played for 2 years here at the Seahawks Stadium.
How lucky. Cool. Wow, how'd the team
Husky
playing
Stadium's 10 times better.
Really?
Oh, I'll show you pictures. I can't believe I've never shown you pictures. You're always invited.
I think I've seen from your seats.
Yeah, if you and David want to come to a game someday,
okay,
you tell me, and I want to see if you say it's the greatest.
Can I take tickets to the game you don't want to go to, and then you watch the kids, and David and I go to the game? Now that I'll take you up on.
I knew this was going to backfire.
You guys got how many grandkids? What's four more?
Correct. So anyway, why are we showing it to you? Because that's one of the venues for the upcoming matches in the World Cup. And there's just so much excitement here in the U.S. for Team USA, but here in the Valley for the team from Turkey.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're training right at the Arizona Athletic Grounds in Mesa.
Yeah.
So pretty cool to have them in our backyard.
Oh, it's so cool. All right, so thanks for hanging out with us here at 11:30. And people watch us on all the different streaming platforms. So however you watch, we appreciate it. And be sure to pick up your phone while you're watching and come on over to YouTube and join what we call the friendliest chat online.
Yes, Linda says Happy Taco Tuesday.
Oh, I know. This is
I love a good Taco Tuesday.
Sometimes I feel like for Linda, and Linda, I'm sorry, I forget your hubby's name, but I like all their pictures. She's on Instagram too. And I know sometimes they scoot out a little bit early. So we appreciate when you stick with us right till noon, but she knows all the great taco joints out there in Safford and Thatcher. There's a story, though. I hate to shift gears this hard, but there is a story this morning that we are all talking about, and it has to do with some of the worst decision-making you'll ever hear about in your life. There was a situation that involved a baby, really, I think a 1-year-old.
A 1-year-old.
A toddler who was hit in a driveway. And as horrific as that sounds, it has happened before. People are negligent, they're not watching. But what the guy did next is where the story takes just a horrific turn.
Yeah, kind of unsettling. So the baby, for whatever reason, was unsupervised in the driveway. And if you have children, you know that could be, the baby accidentally got out in 2 seconds that you turned your back or whatever the case was. But yeah, the gentleman hits the baby and then switches vehicles and tries to have a friend drive him away from the scene.
Yeah. This all happened to the West Valley, I want to say, in the area, maybe kind of around Goodyear. So he did try to convince a friend to take him to Mexico. And thank goodness the friend said, no, I'm calling the cops. And they made the arrest. And here's what happened. And again, Des and I were talking about this beforehand. This is unusual because you have the initial court appearance. And here's what happened when the mom of this little baby had a chance to actually speak on, I think it's on the phone, to the judge as part of this.
You can hear her, please.
Yeah.
I lost my 1-year-old son, and I'll never be able to get him back. And instead of him staying on scene and taking accountability for his actions, he fled like a coward. He is not even a man. He's a monster. He's a baby killer for doing that.
Oh, and his kind of reaction there, too. It just, when does it sink in or touch your heart that, a 1-year-old isn't here because of your actions? And if that was an honest mistake and accident, always better to stay there at the scene. But obviously through our reporting, we have learned that he was in the country illegally. So
maybe he thought he was going to get arrested as a result of that. But still, just from a humanity standpoint, we always point out innocent until proven guilty. But just from the sake of humanity, you got a baby there in the driveway. Anyway, we are going to shift gears again for you here because we, in the summertime, if this is your first summer living in the Valley, welcome. We're glad you're watching us.
Buckle up.
It's going to be 110 this
Hope you have a
weekend.
pool or
So we
access
said
to
to
a pool.
ourselves, let's call in Dr. Clevin, Dr. Michael Clevin with Optum up in the Northwest Valley. Hi, Doc. How you doing?
Excellent. How are you guys?
Just
Good.
great.
Thanks for being here with us.
That was kind of a sobering story, so hopefully, hopefully we can get on the lighter.
Yes,
mood
yeah,
here.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and that's exactly what we want to do because food-borne illness is always something to keep in mind. But is it noticeably worse this time of year?
That's a good question. I don't know about seasonal variation.
I'm going to pull, pull that mic right up to. Give it this right there. You go. Now we can hear you. Go ahead.
I don't know if there's seasonal variation. I'd have to look into that. But I do know on a personal note, it's easier to grow bacteria in the summer when it's warm in your food, which is not the goal.
Right.
So talk about what we're seeing as far as our numbers look statewide. So in Arizona over the last couple of years, what type of foodborne or bacteria are we seeing kind of pop up on food, and what are the three, I guess, most common maybe symptoms associated with some of those common illness or bacteria?
Yeah, so foodborne illness is generally caused by bacteria in the food that you eat. You get it inside of you and it causes nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain and cramping, and sometimes fever. So those would be the common symptoms. The three most common bacteria to cause it now are Campylobacter and Salmonella and E. coli.
I had never even heard of Campylobacter until a doctor told me I got it.
What? What is that?
It's a bacteria that loves to grow on food and doesn't fit well in our GI tract.
Are there certain foods that you should be more on your alert for when it comes to Campylobacter?
Well, the idea is to make your food safe before you consume it.
Okay.
So
take it away. How do we do it?
Well, so there are three phases to this. The first is preparation, the next is cooking, and the final one will be cleanup. Okay. So preparation, for example, you want to start with a clean slate. Make sure your countertop, cutting board, knife, and hands are all clean so that you're not introducing bacteria into the food preparation process. Okay. That's pretty intuitive.
Well, and I want to say, doctor, because right now all of us are have the same level of cleanliness. So in order to start, do you recommend that we use a certain product, or what works best to, like clean the surface of your counter? Or
so you don't have to disinfect. No chemicals are necessary. Hot water and soap is sufficient.
Okay. There you go.
All right.
Okay. Then what's next there?
So next, under the preparation side, would be to assume that all raw meat is contaminated, which means anything that touches the meat is then contaminated. So the cutting board, countertop, knife, and your hands. As soon as you touch the meat, you're contaminated. If you then go turn on the faucet and wash your hand is now clean, but then if you turn the faucet off, it's contaminated again. So it takes a little bit of awareness to see where you're touching and where the meat has touched, and then clean up as you go.
Okay.
So that's the preparation side of it.
Okay.
And when you're talking about that, because chicken, there's like this debate over chicken. Do you rinse and clean it off first before you cook it, or do you cook it right from the package?
Is that a debate? I'm not aware of any
I feel like
ongoing debate, but
I watch my friends just take it out of the package and they cook it, and I'm like, I've always been told you rinse it off.
See?
So
she was raised in Buffalo.
Yeah, so you don't have to rinse your meat before you cook it. In fact, if you do, you run the risk of sort of splashing contamination in the sink area. So it's just not necessary.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Okay. So then to kind of, you've got us through the first part. Now it gets to cooking.
Right. This is the fun part. Yeah. So cooking the meat. The question you want to ask when you're cooking meat is, how hot do I need to get this? And there are two buckets. There's the hot bucket, which is 145 degrees. Then there's the really hot bucket, which is 165 degrees. So in the hot bucket, you have intact cuts of meat, like steak, pork, veal, and fish. And then in the really hot bucket, you've got ground meat and chicken. So people then wonder, well, why is ground beef, why does that have to get hotter than the steak? So the interesting thing is that the bacteria on an intact cut of meat tends to be on the outside. The interior is naturally sterile. So if you get the interior up to 145 degrees, you can be pretty confident you've killed anything on the surface of that intact meat.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But as soon as you grind it up, well, then you blend all the bacteria into the entire, patty, hamburger patty. So then you got to get the whole thing to 165 degrees to ensure that all the bacteria is dead.
So is it a safer bet to get those pre-packaged, you can buy a big 3-pound tub of hamburger, but you can also get it pre-pattied, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I don't know if that would make a difference in terms of safety, as long as you're cooking the whole patty to 165 degrees. And you really need a thermometer to make sure you're getting accurate temperatures.
Okay.
And what about, because I'm just thinking, I was recently at a graduation party and they had some food, some sides out, not covered, not sitting in ice. So what are those summertime foods? Like potato salad, macaroni salad. What are those things that should not be sitting out, either not on ice or covered, uncovered?
So that gets to the third phase of this process, and that's the cleanup. So you've got a window, and the question here is how quickly do you need to get this food back into a refrigerator to keep it safe? And there are two answers. At room temperature, you've got about 2 hours. If it's hotter than room temperature, you've got about an hour. So if you're at a picnic outside and someone brings a potato salad, and it's warm, if it's 4th of July in Phoenix. So bacteria they thrive at that kind of temperature, and they grow really fast. So it's a good idea to bring it on ice, keep it cooler, keep it on ice the whole time if you can, but if not, at least get it back in the cooler as soon as possible.
Okay,
All
really
right.
good.
Yeah, keep it in the cooler.
Yeah, no kidding. Boy, now I got to watch out for the potato salad too, on top of everything else.
That's my favorite. Potato salad or macaroni salad?
I know, right? Especially with the pickles, plenty of onion.
Yeah. What do you
Doc,
like?
Thanks.
Yeah, I love it. If it's homemade, I love it.
There you go.
All right. Well, we really appreciate the input today.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can all get
Learned
through
a
the
thing or
summer
two.
safely.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, Doc.
Here's
Thanks
the
very
mystery
much.
cam. Ooh, this one's fun. Look at that skyline. Go ahead, get your guesses in, you guys. We'll be right back.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Des, we're getting in some guesses here for the mystery camp.
Yes, I love it. So, B. Miguel says this is Louisiana.
I could see that.
I definitely can see that.
So I'm trying to think of you got Baton Rouge, you've got Shreveport. It's obviously not New Orleans because that's a lot bigger, but I could see it being one of those mid-sized cities. And the river, when you look at it, seems kind of flat and low, which would be by the time you're getting that far south, along the Mississippi or some of those other tributaries. It would almost look like a lake. So are you going to go with him? You going to go with Brandon?
I am.
Okay.
I am. Christine?
Yeah?
Says South Carolina.
Okay. I can see that too. When I first saw it, it kind of reminded me of Savannah, Georgia, but I don't think it's it because whatever that building is in the middle, it looks more like a golden dome, kind of. I think I'm going to go in the Midwest somewhere. I'll go Illinois. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. And I just want to say hi, Louie. You're saying good morning to us. Good morning. Yes, we're glad Ron is back, too. Sorry. Can you guys read upside down? New skill unlocked. Peoria, Illinois.
Are you kidding, Des? I have a victory to crow about here. Let's go back.
I'm not surprised that Ron's got a victory on the mystery
camp. Yeah, I had a whole week to,
Yeah, you were just studying the mystery camp catalog. Just watching
day. The problem is Dean gets more cameras faster than we can keep up with them.
I know.
Hey, we are really excited to have Mark Johnson joining us. Now, he's the chair of the board of the Congressional Sports Organization. The congressional baseball game, to me, it's a kind of a bucket list thing, Des. I would love to go. They play it at the Nationals ballpark.
Oh.
So for one thing, you're in an MLB ballpark.
Wow.
And yet you're seeing all these names, of all these guys who some seem fun-loving, some seem very stuffy, but you get them out there. You get them out there on the diamond, and they're having a great time.
Yeah.
Loose.
And they step out of their comfort zone a little.
Yeah. All right, Mark, why should we go to this year's congressional baseball game?
Well, thanks first so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about this amazing experience in D.C. And second, thanks for the picture of my hometown, Peoria, Illinois. It was good to see it.
You're welcome. A happy accident, actually. But yeah, good. What'd you learn growing up in Peoria?
If anybody's from the cornfields, they'll know what detasseling is. That's what I learned how to do. It's the only farm labor you can do at age 9 and actually get paid for.
Wow. Look at that.
Wait, what now you got me curious. What is that?
Yeah.
So without getting too technical, when you have two different breeds of corn across the road from each other, you don't want them cross-pollinating. So you hire children to go into the cornfields, bend an 8-foot stalk down, pull the tassel out, throw it on the ground.
Really?
Wow. Listen to that.
Okay, that actually sounds like fun.
You know what? I mean, I think I was 12 when I started working at the apple orchards up there in Washington.
There you go.
Picking apples at an
Same kind of thing.
Yep,
Very
exactly.
cool.
All right. So, first of all, how did you get this job as the chairman of the board? And second of all, tell us about the event.
Like I said, it's an amazing event. You can turn on your favorite social media application, and there are so many different things that divide us, but sports brings us together. It brings us together red, brings us together blue. I got involved because when I worked in Congress for 12 years, I had 2 members of Congress play in the game. And once I left the Hill, I had the opportunity to get more involved. And we've taken it from a game played in a small little field to, as you said, an MLB park. Last night, we actually announced that we are sold out. 30,000 tickets. We've actually created some standing room only tickets because demand is so high. And ultimately, the winners in this thing, while the members of Congress have so much fun playing, are the charities that this event raises money for.
What are some of those charities? Yeah, any of them near and dear to your heart? Or, talk about some of those.
Absolutely. So this year we expect to raise somewhere over $3 million, which I realize when you hear people in Washington talk $3 million sounds like a drop in the bucket. But for these charities, it's an amazing amount. We'll give money to the local Washington, D.C. Boys and Girls Club, the Washington Nationals Youth Academy, and the one that's near and dear to my heart and to the board is the Tim Johnson Memorial Scholarship, where we will give $40,000 scholarships to 4 student athletes that are part of the Washington Nationals Youth Academy baseball program.
All right, so help us plan, because I really would love to go to this one of these years. What do you have to do either now or a few months down the line to actually buy tickets before they get sold out? And then roughly how much does it cost to go to the game?
So tickets are $20 for reserve seating. That's mostly the first bowl. And then for the upper bowl, $10. Those are unreserved. But again, given the demand we've had this year, we're going to work with the Nationals to see if we can open up the third bowl. And if you want to come next year, I may know a guy.
Look at that, Ron.
Well, I'll just warn you, I'm more of a National League guy. So I don't know. You know, the Diamondbacks are having a pretty good year.
Much better than the Nationals, but I probably shouldn't say that where I am right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's so
great.
funny. So if you end up working out some standing room only tickets, where can folks kind of watch for that news and stay in tune with the date and everything that's happening around this game?
Absolutely. Well, first, you can always go to congressionalbaseballgame.com. All the information is there. Sign up, and you can get the alerts on when tickets go on sale for 2027. But for those who can't travel to Washington, D.C., and prefer that wonderful weather in Phoenix in the summer, you can watch it live on Fox Sports. Game starts East Coast time at 7:05.
All right. And what's the date on it again?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Wow,
so
we're just
tomorrow
one
on
day
Fox
away. Okay, I was
Sports.
thinking,
this is so
wow,
great.
it was
Yeah.
Thursday. Okay,
right?
so it's tomorrow.
Here in early June.
Okay.
Okay, Mark. Well, you're a great spokesman for him for sure, and the pride of Peoria, Illinois. Everybody, one last look at Mark. Thanks, and best of luck. Hope it goes great.
Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you at the game next year.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you got it.
Thank you.
So, from
That'll
the
be
halls
fun.
of Congress, Des, to NASA today, I don't know, is this the first time they've done it like this? It feels like the astronaut selection process now has become a TV show like Price is Right.
As it should be. Why not make the moment big and grand and celebrate
a
it?
show, right?
Yeah.
Here's what it looked like as they selected the 4 winning astronauts for Artemis 3.
Human spaceflight is not for those who want to chart an easier course, but every decision we make about Artemis 3 will be informed about how it can help us ensure our mission success for the lunar surface.
I think that's all you got, bud.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, that's a big thing for sure for NASA. And look, they announced the names, and then everybody came down to the stage, and there they are. Des, all set for Artemis 3.
Yeah, that's amazing. So there's 4 of them right there. I'm trying to, let's see. I don't know who's who, but we've got Andre Douglas, Luca Parmitano, Randy Bresnik, and Frank Rubio.
Nice.
Yeah,
well,
part of that crew.
You know, I mean, it really is. It's so great. I was doing a little bit of research, and they said that they've pushed back the whole idea of life on the moon, a lunar station, which now they're thinking the time frame is going to be 2030, which is still not that far away, right? I mean, we're in the middle of 26, so it would be in the next 3.5 to 4 years.
Yeah.
The cost is, and certainly an issue. I mean, let's face it, our government spends money a lot, but here's an estimate of $100 billion and more. So our poll question, is it worth it? 40% on our QR code, and you grab that QR code right there. The difference between these two polls is we put it on YouTube, and anybody across the world can vote. This is pretty much more for you guys that are actually watching us on TV. But yeah, 40% say you bet. The U.S. is and always should be the world leader in space. 46% are saying, no, you know what? I'd rather see that money spent on programs right here on Earth. And then 14% saying, who's watching the dough? surely there's a way to do it for a little bit less.
And then here on YouTube, 1,000 votes, 35% say yes, the U.S. is and always should be the world leader in space. 55% say no, it's okay. I'd rather see the money be spent on programs here on Earth. And 10% say, who's watching the spending? There is a way to do it for less.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, either way, pretty cool milestone for those 4 astronauts. Fun fact, it looks like for 2 of them, this will be their 3rd space flight. For one, it's their 2nd trip. And for one of the 4, it'll be their very first space flight. So a good mix of experience.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Des. How would you describe a dad bod? Go ahead, just whatever. What first pops into your mind?
You know.
A little bit of a belly?
How do I say?
A little bit of a belly.
Just a little bit of softness.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the belly area.
Yeah.
Still like a lot going on up here in the biceps.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but maybe a little softer there.
tricep,
Maybe not super chiseled,
Okay.
you know. But no one wants to cuddle with like a statue, so like you know, you want something to.
Okay, there's your quote of the day. Nobody wants to cuddle with a statue. So there is a new study that says guys with dad bods, believe it or not, you are passing along a subliminal message to your kids. Researchers were looking into it, and they found, they did this whole research project.
You really threw me off with that. I didn't know how to answer that. Like,
we're showing you possible dad bods right here. So researchers said that obesity is as much as 50% or greater inherited. So maybe you have a gene, sort of a genetic predisposition, but at the same time, if that's kind of the way the men in your life are, if you're a young guy growing up or lady as well. Anyway, they found that the dad's diet and level of physical activity influences the next generation and their exercise habits, as well as what they decide to eat.
yeah, I mean, I can see that.
Sure.
We're a very active family. And I know every family is different, and obviously sports is big in our house too, but besides, you know, working out or whatever it may be, lifting weights to look good, it's actually just fun to play with your kids and experience different, you know, things. And
we have these public pools that are like world class.